Mic's on.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With my typical attention span, I can understand why some of you look back at me and think I forgot that we were doing the pledge, but I'm typically trying to be respectful and let everybody get a chance to stand up. Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from last month's meeting? If there are no changes or corrections, we will approve them as written. We did receive a treasurer's report. I think there was a clerk's report in there as well, clerk's report as well. Just wanted to acknowledge that. Are there any department reports?
Good morning. Just want to give you guys a heads up. There was a fiber optic cable cut somewhere in the world that may affect our dispatch right now. I've talked to James Griswold. Sorry.
Don't tell the bad guys.
Well, hey, I'm just letting them know because it's our lifeline. There's not been any damage to our service right now, but it could happen whenever they have to go back in and splice stuff. There's hundreds of things that have to be spliced. We do have a backup system for that. It's our high band, but I don't even know where it's cut. Somewhere in the world, whenever the snowstorm happened, it got cut someplace in the world, and we were talking to AT&T in India. So just heads up, if you can't get through on the 800, go to high band. Our staffing update, we have 20 positions budgeted for deputies, and we will be testing on the 27th. We'll do our physical and written testing. We have 8 people vying for that one spot, 7 males and 1 female.
Awesome.
Corrections, we have 21 budgeted positions, and 17 of those are filled. This last week, we had 7 interviews. 3 to 4 of those people, I'm not sure the exact number, will be going to the psych eval and to backgrounds. So we hope to bring in some new people.
Bruce, I think it's important that we keep note when you get to 21 and consistently hold there that we as a council have to evaluate that because of the jail report that we've received, just to keep your numbers where they need them to be at. We haven't increased your numbers yet because we were trying to get to 21 on a consistent basis. So he represents that to us, so we can keep an eye on that. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Communications officers, we have 11 budgeted positions. 7 of those are filled, and we do have part-timers that are stepping up. Some of those part-timers are people that used to work for me full-time, but they gotten other jobs that are occupying their time. Community corrections, we have 1 open position. We'll be interviewing for that utility officer this month. We're always hiring, always interviewing, and always testing. And our jail numbers in the detention center, we averaged 109 in January, and the work release, we averaged 28. You guys have any questions or concerns?
Last month, we totaled 437 runs. 354 of those were emergencies, 83 of those were hospital transfers. We billed out 358,000, collected 62,000 of that so far. Currently, we're fully staffed. In the middle of this month, on the 19th, we're offering a full county, like an audit and review course to bring in some of the first responders from the county to be able to get their CCU hours. That's something new that we're starting. Dr. Gilbert recently hired, I think, 5 part-time employees to help cut down on our overtime.
They haven't started yet.
Anything else?
Not that we've been having a bit issues with some trucks. We had one a couple nights ago, something with the diesel line. Diesel completely leaked all the way
Where are we at on the new ones?
We've got one new one that went into service in this past month, and the other one should be here in June or July.
Nice.
So,
New ones, what you wanted?
yeah, it's a great truck.
Good.
Yep. You guys have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Julie with the Gibson County Health Department. I gave you guys our numbers for January. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. As you guys have heard, that we were approved by the commissioners to purchase the ARC building on Main Street. I know it's an older building, but it's gonna serve the community. We can't afford a new building right now, so we need to use the ARPA funds as well, and then we have the money to go with it. So we're working on things to move towards purchasing that. So we're gonna have meetings and things like that to finalize that. It'll be a good thing for the community. We're gonna try to make it more of a one-stop shop for people with us. We'll keep WIC with us. Try to work on more of the resources and get them there as well. So with the people being in there, we will have revenue coming in. So it will help offset utilities and then maybe eventually get a building fund to help with maintenance and repairs and stuff. So we're hopefully, future will be self-sustaining, so we don't have to rely on any other funding to help with the building, so.
Are you guys gonna be moving in anytime? I know at the meeting, they said like 16 months out.
Yeah, we still have to finalize all that. It'll be a little bit, so that'll be kind of helping with the negotiation of the price as well, so. And they will have to occupy it for a little while until, of course, they get their building done, so. We'll have to work on all the, for sure, but it was 12 to 16 month mentioned. It could be longer. We'll see. But at least we'll have a building and be able to go there, so. And it's gonna have, it's 11,000 square foot, 24,000 square foot of parking, so definitely room, so. Do you guys have any questions?
Will you explain why we're buying it before we can move into it for everybody
Oh,
else?
yes, so like questioning that, we have ARPA funds that have to be spent by the end of the year. So that money has to be spent, we have money with that. We have other money that we're gonna be getting as well, but it has to be spent by the end of the year. So that is why we are purchasing it. We probably won't, I would say probably finalize, we'll try to wait as late as we can to purchase it, but have it done by December 31st of this year. But that is why.
There's $400,000 of ARPA funds that have to be spent by the end of the year, or it goes back to the federal government, so. And that money cannot be used for anything else besides building, so that's why,
Yeah,
being on the ARPA board, I knew, but wanted to explain it to everybody else.
so, and it's a once in a lifetime thing that came to us, you know, and we don't want to let that money go back, so. And it's what we had to do. We've been working on this for a few years now, so. But you guys have any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Any other department reports? Move on to old business. George Ballard.
Just real brief, county commissioners at their last meeting went into an agreement with Garmon Construction. They were the ones that were involved in building the new jail, new sheriff's office. They're gonna help manage the demolition of the 89 and the 48 jail. There's quite a few things. It's not gonna be a deal where you just go in a wrecking ball and tear that jail down. It can't be done that way. So they're working also with 3I. They've also been working with Jason Spindler, our county attorney, to come up with some RFPs for requests for proposals. So that's where we are right now. So hopefully, in the very near future, we're gonna have some, I've told them we need to really expedite this along, so they're aware of that. Anybody got any questions? That's where we are. All right, thank you.
Matt and Chuck are both out of town. Any other old business? Now we'll move on to new business. Historic cemetery funding, Mark Fehrenbacher.
Mark Fehrenbacher, Fort Branch. I'm here to discuss with the council historic cemetery funding, and basically what that boils down to, it's not a property tax increase, but more of a cemetery credit. And I'll explain further here. Got some information for you. Some pictures. Basically, this all started, this year, the country turns 250 years old. In December, the state turns 210 years old. And in April, the county turns 213 years old. And part of that is I donated an exhibit to the county celebrating Indiana Statehood Day. And part of that exhibit, 4 individuals represented Gibson County at the 1816 Indiana Constitutional Convention in Corydon. And those individuals were Reverend Alexander Devon, Frederick Rapp, Andrew Smith, and David Robb. 3 of those individuals are buried here in Gibson County still. So as part of this research, I decided to, okay, let's see where they're buried at and see how the cemeteries look. 4 of the cemeteries that I went to, and there's other individuals that I dug up, pardon the pun. 2 of the cemeteries are in pretty good shape. The other 2 are in not so good shape, which is the reason for and there's 2 different sources of funding. So I'd like to look over a few of those pictures that you have in front of you. The first one is the Warnock Cemetery up here in Princeton. And located and buried there is Mr. Devlin, or Devon, who is the Gibson County delegate. And on the bottom right is William Prince, who is the namesake of the city of Princeton. And as you can tell from that picture, and that cemetery is operated and maintained by the Patoka Township trustee, and I'll discuss their funding source. But as you can tell from the cemetery, those pictures, cemetery's in pretty good shape, stones are in pretty good shape. You know, everything's run pretty well. The next picture, or the next page, is the Sandhill Cemetery, also in Princeton. And that's the resting place of Joshua Lyles, who is the namesake, who is the founder of Lyles Station. And as you can tell from the pictures, cemetery's pretty well maintained. Gravestones are in pretty good shape. And that's operated by Mr. Stanley Madison, private property, okay? And they have their funding source. All right. The next page is the W.H.H. Smith Cemetery in Owensville, where Andrew Smith, another delegate to the 1816 convention. If you look at the bottom left picture, that's a cemetery in the middle of a cornfield. Okay, that's, you know, way out in the sticks. The bottom right picture is closer up to the cemetery. You can tell needs a little love. Okay, the upper left picture is the actual gravestone, and that's a recent addition, so that's in pretty good shape. Then the last picture is the Robb Cemetery in Hazelton, and the bottom left is what the cemetery looks like from the road, again out in the middle of the cornfield. The upper left and the bottom right is what the actual graves look like. Okay, so we have these cemeteries, and some of them are run by the township trustee, and some of them are private property owners. Now, both entities, under Indiana law, have basic responsibilities for maintaining the cemeteries. whether the township or private property owner. They're required to reset and straighten the monuments, level and seed the ground, mow the lawn, control the weeds, repair the fences. Now, like I mentioned, there's different funding sources. The trustee can, if they wish, establish a cemetery tax to pay for any cemetery maintenance. That's their option that they can do. Okay? The private property owner has no funding source. So what I would suggest is establish a cemetery credit of, say, 10% for any work done to maintain the cemetery. And I'm not talking routine stuff like, cutting the grass. I mean, that's everybody's responsibility to cut their own grass. But replace monuments, repair the fence, extraordinary type of maintenance. I think we ought to try and establish some way for the property owner to pay for that, okay? Because to go with a cliche, we can either pay me now or pay me later. If the property owner of these cemeteries decided, okay, I don't want to deal with it, I'll turn it over to the township, okay, that just increased the expense that the township would have to endure. So, any questions? That's basically the thought that I had on this. Another thing, as far as if we were to establish a cemetery credit, there'd be some stipulations associated with it, such as, as far as public dollars, you must grant public access. So for these cemeteries out in the middle of a cornfield, you gotta be able to let the public view them if they wish. So that's my general thoughts on that idea. Any questions?
In your research, I'm assuming, is there legality around that? Are we able to, you're talking about a property tax credit?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yes.
Are we able to do that as an entity? Is that,
Well,
who would make that decision?
well, there is some law, statute, Indiana Code 23-14-78-4 governs the private property owner and rules and stuff stipulating that. I haven't looked in that as far as, if the council can provide a tax credit, but it does say something that one of their legal duties is to repair a fence, and it says if supplies, labor are available from the county or township. So I think there is some wording in there that the council can assist and the township can assist these private property owners to, maintain these cemeteries. I don't know if there's something in there strictly saying you can or can't, but I'm just looking at a way to try and help the individual help maintain that property, that cemetery before it goes to dust. So I just want to bring that to the council's attention and see if they might be interested in something like that. Because right now, another cliche, you have a carrot and a stick, okay? For the cemetery, if you fail to maintain it, it's a Class C infraction. The township trustee faces it, and the private property owner faces it if they don't maintain the cemetery properly. The carrot part is the township does have a funding source, either general property taxes or they can raise a cemetery tax. The private property owner has no funding source except out of his pocket, which is the privilege of being a private property owner. So if there's something that we can do to help them maintain this historic thing of interest to the community, then I think it should be looked at.
Not sure. I mean, it's an interesting concept logistically. I don't know There'd be a lot of moving parts.
Well, I mean, one thing, I would, for any credit that we, issue, you know, there'd be some, strings attached, such as one, there's a body with a, the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, the, Historic Preservation Association. They govern the cemeteries.
No, I'm just saying.
I would say, you know, any work that, that is covered under the tax credit must be approved by them, so they'd be the, you know, governing body. And then another, string would be, public access must be available if you do this, you know, receive this credit. And then you, another thing, if you want to consider a credit, say, you know, put a limit on it, say, you know, limit of up to $100, $1,000, you know, you set the limit. So, like I said, I'm just looking for a type of source to help the property owner without having to raise property taxes. And I think this is one way that you could do that.
Could we use a parks board or anything like that?
Hmm?
Could the park board do anything to try and clean those up when they do their?
I don't know if they would fall under the parks. But from my understanding, cemeteries fall under townships.
When they're abandoned by the property owner.
And then, so, with the town,
Abandoned or neglected. Then the township takes over.
would the township be able to do something?
I think the law is specific to the township is what he's saying.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know that
there-
this fiscal body is the one that makes that, this is new to me. I mean,
Well, the township does have a set of regulations concerning, you know, cemeteries.
Right.
And one of the things that, which is similar to private property owners, the only thing is that the township has the funding source.
No, what we're saying is
Additional
those
funding.
private ones you're referencing here that look potentially overgrown and stuff and need love.
Uh-huh.
I think the township would have to address it. I just think the way I've read it, and unfortunately, there was a moment in my life where I had to be involved in the legal side of it, from the previous job that I had, and it all went to the trustee's office when it was in a vacated. I think what you're wanting done, I think needs to funnel through the trustees in those positions, not the county council, is what I'm saying.
Well,
I don't know the law 100% on this. I
well-
just know the law is very specific to cemeteries and trustees' offices.
okay, understand.
Yeah.
Okay. My understanding is that, you know, for cemeteries under the trustees' authority.
Right.
Okay, they have their
Right,
set of
right.
rules and they operate, that's fine. But for these other ones that are not
Right.
under the trustees, okay, this is what this tax credit is to address, to keep it from going to the trustee. It's like I said, it's like the Fram commercial.
Has this
Pay
been
me
done anywhere? Like, do you have,
Huh?
has this been done anywhere? Do you have any info?
Not as far as I know.
Okay. Definitely gonna be, and he just walked out the door and going across the street, question for the guy in the blue zip-up coat. So we're gonna have to get some legal guidance on this.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is just a suggestion to
Yeah.
how to,
We appreciate it.
because, like I said, the way I look at things is I see a need, I propose a solution, and I propose a way to pay for it without raising
even
property
better.
taxes. But yeah, I think, like I said, you know, some of these cemeteries need a little help, and you are dealing with private property, and I know that's kind of a, you know, I've mixed feelings about, you know, private property too, but then again, you know, it is historic and important to the community, and if there's a way that we can do that and, you know, keep it off the tax rolls, so to speak, and get some, you know, get some good out of it, then I think we should look at that.
We'll just have to look at the legal and see where it falls.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate your time,
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your work on that. Move towards something. It may be beneficial to look into somewhere else and find out if somebody's come up with a solution for this, may not have to reinvent the wheel, but appreciate the work you've done on it. Next up, additional appropriation for Fort Branch Library. I don't know what happened there.
Good morning, Laura Hoppy with Fort Branch Library. We need to use some of our rainy day fund, and it is money that we have saved. I just need the county council's approval to use it.
What is your fund balance on the rainy day?
$212,237, and we're asking to use $80,000.
Needs to be advertised. Mike?
I don't believe so.
Well, we just need a motion to approve. With your fund balance is good, I'll make a motion to approve her request.
We have a motion to approve $80,000 of capital for 400 series capital outlays for Fort Branch Johnson Township Public Library from their rainy day fund. Is there any discussion?
What are the capital gains going to be used for?
We built our new library in Fort Branch, and we have worked with the town of Fort Branch, but the infrastructure doesn't exist for stormwater, and we, with the town's permission, put that on the road at first, and it's more water than they expected, so we're gonna have to bore 2 blocks to move that water to a stormwater.
Does this also include, like, I know they were having trouble with the road between like the gym and the library. Is that going to,
This has nothing to, this does not touch that at all.
is that something that you're going to be needing in the future? Or?
The town is still working on the legalities of that, so I am hoping that someday the library can own the alley and that we will be able to pave it, but at this time, they're trying to work through the legalities of being able to give that to us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would say.
Any other questions, comments? We have a motion and a second. Mark, did you have a question, or are you stretching?
Need a second?
Huh?
We need a second.
We need a second.
I did.
Bob seconded. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
6-0. Encumbrances? Logan presenting that, or just self-explanatory?
Right here is all we need to do. There's your total right there. And then just read that to me.
All right, the total of all encumbrances from 2025 into 2026, encumbrances and appropriation adjustments, excuse me, is $3,967,827.64. And these are monies that were appropriated for 2025, but not spent in 2025.
Invoices for those.
And they have invoices for them.
That were in 25.
So it's all within the budget, they just need our permission to pay them in the following year.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0.
No transfer, additional appropriations.
Appropriations. Okay, any other new business? Anyone here for public comment? Ms. Patty?
I am always
Patty Vanner with the Gibson County Chamber of Commerce, and I just have a couple of things I want to make people aware of. The Chamber formed a foundation in 2020, and we are at the point where we have raised some funds. So we're starting a scholarship committee to determine how to allot those funds out. So that's going to be this Friday at noon, if you would like to help kind of make the guidelines for those, if you've been on scholarship committees or whatever and how those work, your expertise would be greatly appreciated. It'll be at the chamber office. And I want to invite any elected official or those that are seeking an elected position to our forum that we do with the Gibson County Farm Bureau on March 14th. It's during the Ag Day breakfast. The breakfast starts at 6 a.m. and then the forum starts at 8. And if you have to be on the agenda to speak, and you get 2 minutes. So if you could, just contact the chamber office or go to our website, gogibson.org, to sign up.
Where is that?
Sorry, what?
Knights of
Nice
Columbus?
comments, yes. Sorry.
There's no public comment.
Motion to adjourn.
Or will. Not unless they caucus much on the third.
Did you speak at the nights before?
I wasn't here the first time. My son actually went and spoke for me.
I was there,
Yeah, I was in, I think I was in Fiji.
Fiji? Whoa.
We
Yeah, I
had,
wouldn't have come back for that either.
well, we had made the plans, or we had, we have to, for a trip like that, we have to save up for a long time.
Yeah.
And you have to put your
Money down.
reservations and all that. So we had all that down, and then I didn't decide to run until like right the day before the one, so I didn't have any time to. So my son went and spoke for me.
Vietnam?
He evidently did a good job.
You got elected.
Yeah.
I was on the airport carrier. Well, you're doing a good job.
You were a target.
Yeah, yeah,
Airedale, huh?
yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Worked at Resting Gear.
Yeah.
I'll call him when he come back.
All right.
Still
Well,
can't find a few things. That's just driving me
I was in
crazy.
80, nuclear machinist mate, subs. And then later on, after it took me 15 years to realize, well, it's not that bad. CB, the reserves.
Really?
Tired. I'm good.
Yeah. You moved yourself? Yeah. Never found that yet. Oh, she's missing a laptop. She's missing a laptop, or tablet, I should say. Just a few things, odds and ends, it's crazy. But we did package, see, my wife
cemetery
ended up
guy
on
give you
November the 7th, she fell, broke her leg. Yeah, picture. Do you mind if I look at it?
So in other words, you're saying you're running a nursing home instead of.
Well, that isn't the half of it then. Exactly a week later, she laid up, she's supposed to be packaged, she came back.